Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Dr. Ray. You can find me here on YouTube at my YouTube channel, Animal Doc Ray, and you can also follow my everyday life on Instagram at Animal Doc Ray. Today we're going to be going over home-cooked diets, so home-cooked pet food diets. Home-cooked diets are really popular. I know that it's a fun thing to do. It definitely increases the human-animal bond, and so I think those are the good things about a home-cooked diet. There are, however, a couple drawbacks to a home-cooked diet, so we want to make sure that we're doing it correctly. That way we can give our pet the best they absolutely can have, and so that's why we do these things. We want our pets to be happy and healthy, and so I want to help you do that. Now, I want to say the first thing about a home-cooked diet that I think is important is to consult a board-certified nutritionist. And there are a bunch of those listed at the American College of Veterinary Nutritionists. I have their website linked down below. They will coordinate with you. They will coordinate with your veterinarian. Some of them can do it telemedicine style. And so I think they're a great resource to really tailor things to your specific pet. There are a lot of recipes online that you can get, and they're just very generic. And it's not as simple as just adding a cup of rice, a cup of ground beef, a cup of vegetables. It really isn't that simple. That's why it's very difficult, even for some of these pet food companies that have thousands of dollars in research and marketing and resources at their disposal to get it correctly done. And so I want to share with you a website today that I recommend to my patients that I think is very helpful in getting a home-cooked diet closer to where we want it to be. Now, I don't think that a home-cooked diet is necessarily any better than a store-bought diet. I think that whatever can get you to those nutrients and that is palatable to your pet and you enjoy doing it and your pet's doing well with it, I think that's the most important thing. So I'm not promoting home cook versus other. I just want to give you some tools and resources to help you along the way. So I want to introduce to you guys today a website called balance.it.com. This is a free website, which is very nice. They do have some paid options that you can explore. We're not going to do those today, but there certainly are there for you if that's something that you're interested in. How I would like to start today is to just go ahead and click on the Let's Get Started button. It's very simple to do. It's going to ask you some information about the pet that you're formulating the diet for. And so in this scenario, I'm going to do an adult dog, and I'm going to do Foxy. She's approximately 20 pounds, so let's put that in there. 6 years old, and she is a spayed female. It's going to go ahead and calculate for you the resting energy requirement. And so it's saying that Foxy needs 585.5 kcal per day. Now, I'm not going to do the calculations for you on this video. There's several other videos that go over how to calculate the resting energy requirement, but I can let you know that this 585 kcal is correct using the resting energy requirement for a 20-pound dog, and then using the 1.6 multiplier for spayed female. So sometimes I do like to shy closer to the resting energy requirement without the multiplier, but for the purposes of this website, just so that you know, they are using that multiplier. So you might have to shy down just a little bit if you find that your pet is obese. You can enter in specific conditions, that your pet may have. You can see them here. And if it's not listed, there are some consultation services that you can use on this website. But for our purposes, we're just going to go ahead with the AFCO Dog Maintenance Profile. You click on Build Recipe, and then they will give you several options that you can choose from based on, a number of factors, whatever suits to your fancy, basically. And so combination number 1 is going to be a chicken breast recipe. Number 2, we're going to have chicken and brown rice, olive oil, fish oil, and it may depend on what you have available to you, or it may just be, what you prefer. Chicken and brown rice combo, and so they'll give you a couple different options. For this particular demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and pick the first option, which is the chicken breast combo. Now, you'll see here that it does display for you the cost to feed, which is going to be $1.2 or $1.29 per day in this case, and then it has a recommendation for a specific vitamin supplement. Now, They are selling vitamin supplements. That is how this company makes their money because it's a free website. But I will show you that these supplements actually are quite necessary. And that goes back to, when we were saying it's not as easy as just picking these base ingredients. There's a lot more that goes into it. And so on the right-hand side here, this red number 15, it's telling you that if you don't use the supplement, this particular recipe is going to be deficient in 15 of the essential categories. So we're going to go ahead and view the recipe. These numbers right here, we are not going to focus on. At first, when I looked through this website, I thought that this was the guaranteed analysis. It is not the guaranteed analysis. This is percentage of protein, fat, carbs, etc., based on the calories. So this is not the way that we're used to this information being presented. So we are not going to dive into that on this particular in this particular video. What we want is down here. So you can adjust the recipe if you want. I don't suggest you do that at first while you're getting used to it. And to be quite honest, once you find a recipe that's good, I don't recommend that you change it often. Changes in the diet for dogs and cats, just our domestic animals, don't usually go over well. They're not really geared to changing things frequently like we are as humans. And so I do, find a recipe that works for you, and then I suggest sticking with it. But you can use this to adjust the recipe if you'd like. This recipe is going to be chicken breast, Morton iodized salt, and then their BalanceIT carnivore blend. You are going to need a scale, and I will put in my Amazon storefront the scale that I recommend, or the scale that I use at my house, a digital scale. It's very easy. You can tear it. It's got a digital reading, and it makes it very easy because you do want to be precise on this. This is not eyeballing it. This is a precise science that we're doing here, and so make sure that you actually do measure everything out as it states. Down here you can see the storage. So how are you going to store this food? It's really important. It can be stored in the refrigerator up to 3 days, or it can be frozen up to 3 weeks. So please be sure when you're using fresh food that you are following proper storage and handling techniques. There is a bunch of other tips here that you can, you can read about. Finicky eaters, how do you order the supplements, special precautions that you need to take note of. And so please feel free to go through and, read that. Obviously, we want to maintain good hygiene, washing our hands and things like that. So let's go ahead and see the nutrients in our recipe. So you can click here, see nutrient profile, and they're going to take us to the exact nutrient profile that they have compiled for us. Right here, you have the option to have a couple different graphs. The one that I like is this one on the bottom, the not shown, show numerical percentages. I think this is the easiest one to see the information we need, so I'm going to go ahead and click that one. This food is 4,300 metabolizable energy. So we know that when we are looking at these things, we like that to be, the about what we want the metabolizable energy to be. So that's perfect. When you come down here, these are the nutrients. So in this column, you have the nutrient name, you have the requirement range. The requirement range here, this is based on AFCO standards. You have the amount here, and then this is the important part. This is the percent of the nutrient with the supplement, and then over here is the percent of the nutrient without the supplement. So you can remember that when we formulated this diet, it said there were 15 parameters that were out of range unless you use the supplement. So these, first ones are the first 15. So without the supplement, this particular diet has an inappropriate calcium phosphorus ratio. It's deficient in calcium, it's deficient in magnesium, vitamin A, vitamin E, copper, iodine, folate, vitamin B12, zinc, riboflavin, which is also a type of vitamin B, iron, vitamin D, thiamine, choline. When you add the supplement in, is this column. Now, this is what I'm talking about, how it is very difficult to get things exactly right. So when you add their supplement, okay, the calcium and phosphorus ratio is pretty close, but as you start going down the list, you can see that by adding the supplement, we are over-supplementing some of the parameters. And so some of them, over-supplementation is fine, but some of them, the over-supplementation can be deleterious. We've talked about this a lot, especially on the minerals. So when we add the supplement, we're bumping up our calcium to to 176% of what is required. So a little bit of caution there, and so you can see that not everything is going to fall perfectly in range. Vitamin B12, that's one of the ones. If you oversupplement, that's perfectly fine. Not an issue there. So just note that when you do a home cooked diet, just like when you buy packaged food and just like if you go to a certified nutritionist, it may not be perfect. So you need to find something that is appropriate for your pet. And that's where sitting down with a nutritionist and that's where sitting down with your veterinarian will be very helpful, in that situation. So there are other recipes that you can do. You can go through here and you can pick cat food. The other thing that they have here as well, so you can come down here to the bottom of the website where it says Vet Nutritionist. And so this is a really nice tool that they have linked on their website where you can find your region, and it's not just the United States. We've got Canada is in here, they've got Europe in here, they've got different regions of the United States, and it will give you the information to contact a board certified nutritionist in your area. So if you don't want to go to the ACVN website, you can come here and you can get hooked up with a board certified nutritionist by following the links. So a lot of these are veterinary universities. A lot of universities do have nutritional services if you're not aware of that. And I think it's a great thing to look into. It's a great investment into your pet's health. So I hope you found this helpful. This website really is a very, very, it's a great asset to have. It's a great tool to have in your toolkit, especially if you've, maybe been thinking about doing a home cooked diet or you've been experimenting with it and you really just don't know if it's balanced or not. And so I think this is a great tool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will come and spend time with me again. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff, and we'll hang out again real soon.